Melissa, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mary Beth, for allowing me to follow Melissa. I'm dying already. Well done. I feel like I'm at the South Shore Music Circus here. You put a quarter in here, and we just move around and move around. I'm very honored to be here this evening for a couple of reasons. 8 years ago this past week, our brother Jack passed away. And Jack was born with disabilities. And I've often said, to have someone with disabilities in your family is a blessing. And I know that if Eunice was here today, she'd say that. Because for our family, Jack taught us how to be human, how to laugh, how to cry. But we also saw how someone with disabilities lives day in and day out. In many ways, our brother Jack had an IQ of 36, but he was my teacher. He opened my eyes and my heart to the issue of disabilities and how to live with disabilities. And in many ways, that is why our family, has been involved with disabilities. 5 years ago, this very, very special leader that you have here, Mary Beth, who truly is a champion of all the champions here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. She really is. And she is. And she came to me and she said, we give an award out once a year. And the award is for someone who volunteers and gives his or her time to the cause of disability and helping in the Special Olympics. And she says, we've decided that we'd like to name it after your brother Jack. So now it is called the Jack Brett Award. Needless to say, we're very honored. And we've had some distinguished recipients. We've had the mayor of the great city of Boston, Marty Walsh. We've had Congressman Joe Kennedy. And somehow yours truly was nominated on the third ballot and somehow got the votes to also be a recipient. But this year, our recipient happens to be, and we all know, the most popular governor in the nation. But aside from that, and he gave me some notes to talk about him. I just can't read them all. I can't read your writing, honest, principled. I can't read your writing, Governor. So the governor is someone that I've known for many, 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 many years. And boy, if he deserves this award, no one deserves it. Because he has done so much. I have been privileged to be the chairman of the Governor's Commission for people with intellectual disabilities for some 17 years. So that means I think I've been Governor Jane Swift and Governor Romney and Governor Deval Patrick and Governor Charlie Baker. In all the years, and they're fine governors, and they serve the Commonwealth very, very well. You do not know how much this governor has done for disabilities and making people, allowing people really to live a life of independence, getting them out of a state institution, getting them into the community, getting them to live in the community, to be part of the community, to allow transportation, allow dental care, allow housing, allowing opportunities for jobs. That doesn't happen by accident. And it's not just funding, which is extremely important, but it's having that vision. And the governor believes that when all people should rise, the tide should rise, and the boat should rise, people with disabilities should be included. Do not forget people who have no voice, because they want to be part of the community. They want to contribute. They want to have an opportunity for a life just like all of us. But this governor has done this day in and day out with no fanfare. But believe me when I say it, he has been a champion for people with disabilities, a champion, and not something that just happened. You want to see the governor have a 100-watt smile? What did Melissa just say? People with disabilities, they know when there are good people in their presence. They know. What did she say? I love seeing the governor in the State House because she knows he's a good man. Our recipient of the Jack Brett Award 2018 at the John F. Kennedy Library, our governor, our friend, our champion, Governor Charlie Baker.
Jim, am I allowed to fill this up with beer? I would really like to just take Jim around with me for maybe, I don't know, the next 38 days or so. I have known the Brett family for a very long time, and I've known the boys better than I knew the girls. But I've had a chance to learn that the boys basically learned everything they know from their sisters and from Jack. And there's just no question about that if you've spent any time around the family. And I am honored and touched in a very special way to get an award that's named after Jack Brett and on behalf of the Special Olympics. You know, I've been working these issues as a public official for almost 30 years. And Jim talked a little bit about how important opportunity and support and a chance to be part of a community is to everybody. It's no different for people with disabilities or different abilities, as Melissa put it. But as she sat there and talked, what I really thought about was sports. Now, as a basketball player, my wife, Lauren, is a gymnast. We have 3 kids. They all played sports of one kind or another. And there are all sorts of lessons that come with playing sports and all sorts of opportunities. And Melissa talked about a couple of those. One of the biggest lessons is that whole idea about being part of a team. Anybody who's been on a team knows there's really nothing like it. And it's this opportunity for you to learn what it's like to have other people rely and depend on you to do your job so that they can do theirs. Where you can cheer for them the same way they're going to cheer for you, and where you're all playing with this one major objective, which is to be the absolute best you can be together. The other thing you get out of sports is a chance to be better tomorrow than you were today at something. I never won a damn thing, Melissa, so I was never great like you, okay? But that opportunity to get better at whatever it was you had chosen to do, whatever sport you chose to play, whatever way you chose to play, one of the great things about sports is if you try and you have some decent coaching and you got teammates to cheer you on, you will get better. And the sense of satisfaction and self that comes with that, it's incredibly human and hugely powerful. And I know there are a lot of reasons why Special Olympics has been so special for so long. But in some way, I really think the essence of it is in that whole notion that in sports, that opportunity to be part of a team, that chance to get better tomorrow than you were today and better the day after, and to take the joy that comes from competing if you're doing it the right way and for the right reasons, and to maybe win or maybe just play. It's profound and powerful. But you don't get to do it for 50 years. You don't become a global phenomenon unless you have folks like Mary Beth and the Shriver family and so many others who are sort of the tenders of the garden, make it their life's work. And they're doing the same thing. Every day they're trying to get a little better and a little bigger, serving the team and making it special and unique and giving people an opportunity to be great. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate not just what Special Olympics is about, but what it stands for. You know, I'm in a business that I've spent half of my professional career in. And my dad worked in the federal government. My mom was one of those people that ran local government. The Democrat, my mom, the Republican, my dad, the two people who never voted for the same person ever. Happily married for 60 years. But I grew up in a house where public service was like a positive thing, a good thing. It was all about collaboration and cooperation and finding a way to work with people you didn't always agree with. And I feel like the whole thing sometimes is on fire. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad. And then I think about 1968, when this all got started. For those of us who are old enough to remember 1968, for those of us who studied history, that was not a good year. In so many ways. 1968, we were on fire in 1968 as a country. And out of that came this. Out of that came this glorious idea that became this movement, that became this world power. And I'll tell you something, as I stand here tonight, I think a lot about that. I thought a lot about it listening to Melissa. I thought a lot about it listening to Jim and Mary Beth. I thought a lot about the fact that even in the midst of really difficult, traumatic, and sometimes like terrible times, there's still great things. Great things. You just have to find them, hold on to them, learn from them, and do everything you can to model them. And that's really, in many respects, what makes this organization and this award for me so personal and so special. The fact that it came from that guy, Jim Brett. That was special too. But to all of you, what I would say is thank you so much for supporting an organization that is all about aspiration, that is all about joy, that is all about collaboration, and that is all about inclusion. Because I, for one, will walk out of here tonight feeling a heck of a lot better about my chosen profession than I felt about it when I walked in. And for that, I thank you.